Hello everyone! Today we're exploring XGBoost model training and hyperparameters in SageMaker. We'll leverage SageMaker's capabilities to fine-tune our model's performance for optimal results. Let's start and learn the art of model training and hyperparameter optimization.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube lecture series on Amazon SageMaker and machine learning web development. So in previous lecture we have seen that how we can read data from S3 bucket. We have seen that how we can split data into training and test set, and we did we implemented this command, and we have noticed that we can split our data in two parts in the 80:20 ratio. Now after splitting up data, we need to train our model. So for that we have to import couple of different commands. So these commands they are here. We have to import the SageMaker. We have to import OS, and there are other commands as well. So one of the command here you can see, which is from SageMaker, that is import get_image_URI. So this particular command, in layman term, we can understand that this is image URI in SageMaker. It basically refers the location of specific configured sets of software instruction. So we can understand this from an analogy. It is like a recipe that tells SageMaker how to run particular type of machine learning model or algorithm. Okay, so it is like similar where to find a cookbook that contains the recipe for making a cake. The image URI, it points SageMaker towards right instruction so that it knows what we need to do when we want to train or deploy our machine learning model. Okay. So other two module, we can see here that we are importing S3_input and session. So this is for our session and interaction with the S3 bucket. And this one import OS. So we can understand this just considering in a simple term. So in Python, this import OS allows us to access functionality related to operating system. That's it. So what it is? It is like opening a toolbox with tools that help us to interact with files, folders, and other aspect of computer operating system. So no, not more than that. I think that is enough for this tutorial. Now, after importing all these modules, I'm going to put this file in link either in Google Drive or our GitHub. You can directly access that. And other stuff is this three line of code. So this what it is doing. You can again remember that it is just joining different columns together. So remember in our previous tutorial, we separately created one column that is only loan status column, and then other columns where we removed loan status. That was our target thing. Then we joined this together. But remember that we also created a data frame where we kept loan status column as our first column, and rest of the column was our feature vector. So what we are doing, the first thing we are doing here, we are just taking this train data loan status as a target variable, and other thing what we are doing, train_data dot drop loan_score status. We are dropping that, and then we are putting this as our CSV file, train.csv, in our folder. Okay, and one thing which we should notice, that we are putting index is equal to false, header is equal to false. So for this training purpose, we need not to include our index column and header column. So index column, which you can see the extreme left column where we put numbering 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, and header column where we designate the column, okay, the column name. So we need not to include. So this is the reason we are putting index is equal to false, header is equal to false, and then we are putting this thing in our bucket. And this line of code, we can see that we are uploading this file in our S3 bucket. Okay, and this particular command, we can see that we are giving it a methodology that where it is going to store. It's similar to what we have seen in earlier lecture, that it is creating, okay, there will be S3 bucket, and there will be bucket, the name of a specific bucket, then name of a specific folder, then another subfolder, and within that subfolder, train folder, it is going to be stored. Okay, so this is for training thing. Now similar thing we need to do for test file. Okay, so test data and train data, they are two different data. We are going to train model, and then to evaluate accuracy and performance of model, we need to examine that in our test data. So for that, you can see this command, which is very similar to that. Again, it will be there in Google Drive. You can just take it and you can change variable, whatever you want. You can play with that. Now, once this folder creation is done, then what is the next thing? Next thing is running the model, training of the model. Okay, so this is very important part of our tutorial. So our next line of code here is from SageMaker import image underscore URS, and then we are creating container XGBoost underscore container is equal to image underscore URS, retrieve XGBoost photo3 session, then we are putting region name, and then we are displaying container. So what exactly that code is, what it means? So in very simple layman term, these lines of code, they are fetching the specific set of instruction needed for running XGBoost machine learning model within SageMaker. So what exactly this is? So it is like going to a library and finding exact book that contains the recipe of making that cake. Once we have these instructions ready, we can train and deploy our XGBoost model in SageMaker. So this particular line of code, display XGBoost container, it is like showing the location or identifier of fetched instruction. So we know we got the right item. Okay. So now we understand this meaning of these two input sections. So let us run it one by one. So first let me run this. Okay. Okay, this is done. Let me run this one. This is also done. Let me run this one. Okay, run it. Okay, let me see what it is going to. So there was some typo, so I just fixed that, and let me run again. So run. Okay, so that is done. And then let me run it, this thing. Run. Okay, now run this container one so that it will create container. Okay. Okay, so here we can see that we have created one container here. Okay, so container is there. Now next part, which is very important, that is hyperparameter. What hyperparameter we are going to use in our model. Okay, so these hyperparameters are very important to refine, to fine tune our model. So what are the utility of this model, these hyperparameters in our modeling? So they are used to configure different model, because we are using XGBoost, so they are related with the XGBoost at present case. So each of these parameter, they control different aspect of how model learns and how model predicts. So for example, this max depth, this determines how deep individual decision trees. ETA, it controls the learning rate. This num underscore round, it specify the number of round or iteration. That means if I'll put this 500 rather than 250, it will consume more space, more resources, so that we'll get more bill. This objective binary logistic, because we are dealing with the problem where target is in yes or no or 1 or 0 format, so we are putting this in binary logistic. In regression it will be different. Okay, so this is hyperparameter. So let us run this hyperparameter input section. Okay, run cell. Okay, now next thing will be our model fitting. Okay, so now we have to define our estimator. So this is a very standard format for estimator. So in order to know the format what AWS like, it is always good practice to go and check their documentation section. So in this documentation section, we can see that what type of instance they need, what should be other parameter, and what are their standard notebook. So I think we should go and check their format. The key idea here is the larger size of instance you will choose, we have to be ready to pay the larger bill. So it is like that. So we need to decide in a way so that for small set of data set, we need not to consume a very super large instance. Okay, so for my thing, what we are doing, we are just using this mlm for x large. You can go and check the pricing, what should we consume. Now there are other thing here. We can see like output path. It is clear what should be output path. Use spot instance. Spot instances means we are not using any reserve instances. We are just using spot instances. They are inexpensive, so we need not to pay much for this spot instances. Basically we are saving our money just by using spot instances. And this max underscore run and max wait, it basically max run refers to the maximum amount in seconds that the training job is allowed to run. If training job doesn't complete with this time frame, what SageMaker is going to do, it will stop. Okay. The max wait, it refers to the maximum amount of time in the second that SageMaker will wait for training job to complete. Okay, so we have kept these things based on other resources, based on the reference notebook and other uh, inputs. And now it is time to run the cell, to just run the cell. Okay, now this cell is executed. So now we come to the most important part of our model. Then we have to train our model. Okay, we have to fit this model. Okay, so this is very standard line of code. So let us run this. So now we can see it is starting job, and it will take some time. So I'll see you in next lecture. Well, I'll start from there, and then we'll start checking our model and its performance.